everyone, today we'll be making a video that compares the 22 long rifle to the 22 Magnum as far as how those compare when shooting them out of a rifle and not out of a handgun. Now the 22 long rifle, it's been around for well over 100 years. 22 Magnum, been around since about the 1960s. Now there certainly is more cost involved with shooting a 22 Magnum, sometimes double the amount of money easily. So I figured, why not make a video that explores how much more bang are we getting for the buck, so to speak. So I've made a cheat sheet. We're going to look at the numbers, the energy numbers on these cartridges out to about 200 yards. And then after we look at the cheat sheet, we're going to go into the field for some real-life shooting examples to kind of see how these numbers come off the paper, how they apply in real life. We're certainly hoping that you'll like the video and that you'll subscribe. And we're definitely looking forward to your comments. And we thank you in advance for watching. Okay, I've got the cheat sheet in front of me. On the left, you'll notice that we're going to compare the 22 long rifle Velociter. We're just going to stick with the 40 grain bullets today, just to try to compare apples to apples. Now, certainly the CCI Velociter is one of the top performing cartridges that in a 22 long rifle. So it'll at least have some kind of a chance at keeping up with a 22 mag, or will it? That's what we're going to find out. Now right here on the label, you're going to notice that CCI claims 1435 feet per second. That's their claimed velocity from a muzzle on a rifle. Now, I was comparing this out of a 16-inch barrel. Usually out of a 16-inch barrel, you're going to lose a little velocity. You're not going to get that full velocity that the manufacturer claims unless you're shooting a 20 or a 22-inch barrel bolt-action rifle. I was using a 16-inch carbine in the ballistics testing, so to be conservative, I took about 100 feet per second off of their claimed velocity and went from there. So the muzzle energy I put was 1335 feet per second. That equates to about 158 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle. Moving out to about 50 yards, that bullet should be down to about 1154 feet per second, 118 foot-pounds of energy. 100 yards, about 1,034 feet per second, as you can see. Starts to slow down and go below the speed of sound once you're out there to 150 yards. And at 200 yards, it's got about 71 foot-pounds of energy. You're probably not going to really want to shoot beyond 200 yards with a 22 long rifle anyway. So that's where I kind of ended the cheat sheet. Now to see how that compares to a 22 Magnum, bear with me a moment here. Let's move those out of the way. You've got 1,910 feet per second at the muzzle. It's roughly 600 feet per second faster. And look at that energy number, 324 foot-pounds of energy. So as far as the muzzle energy, that's a good 100% more energy at the muzzle. Right around about 105% more if you want to get really technical about it. Now out there at 50 yards, you're looking at 225 foot-pounds of energy for the 22 Magnum compared to 118 foot-pounds for the 22 long rifle. So you're dealing with about 91% more foot-pounds at 50 yards. Take a look at where you're at 100 yards, 156 foot-pounds of energy compared to 95. So you've got about 64% more foot-pounds with the 22 Magnum at 100 yards. And those might be the distances where you're going to hit something around 50 to 100 yards with either of these two cartridges. So the answer is it should be between 64% to 91% more powerful as far as the energy that it delivers for real-life applications. If you do wind up hitting something at 150 yards, you're looking at 39% more energy. And if you were to actually hit something at 200 yards, you're looking at 27% more energy. So at this point, we're going to go into the field and do some real-life shooting to see how these numbers work out and if they actually hold true in real-life ballistics to what we saw here on the paper. We're getting ready to shoot a 40 grain CCI Velociter at this water jug that's 50 yards downrange. Okay, this is the water jug that was hit with the CCI Velocitor just a few moments ago. Walking up to it now, looking for the entrance here. It looks like that's the entrance right there. This is the exit on the back side. And it's still about 25% full with water. This test will be shooting a 40 grain 22 Winchester mag through a Marlin bolt action rifle and a 1 gallon water jug set up exactly 50 yards away. Used a digital rangefinder to estimate the distance, and then we'll zoom in on it with the camcorder so that you can see the impact. This is the result of hitting a 1 gallon milk jug that was filled with water. You can tell where I hit it right there, dead center at 50 yards, 40 grain, 22 mag. And you can tell the bullet did exit right there out the back. It basically just blew a large hole on each side. Next up, we're shooting the 40 grain, 22 Win Mag through about a 24-inch barrel rifle, through the Marlin rifle. We're going to be shooting at exactly 75 yards. Used the SIG 2000 digital laser rangefinder to make sure this is about as close to 75 yards as we can get for this test. Okay, I'm walking up to the water jugs now. The one on the left is hit with the 22 mag. Looks like I hit it maybe a little high. I could have hit that a little lower, a little more to the center. But even though I didn't hit it perfect, there's your exit hole, by the way, still did a fair amount of damage at 75 yards. Although not really the same damage that it did at 50. Probably still enough to take out a coyote at that distance. We are now at a distance of 100 yards, shooting a 40 grain bullet, 22 Win Mag at the water jug on the left. Got it. Well, this was at 100 yards at the 40 grain 22 mag. I hit it right about where I was supposed to hit it. It didn't quite have the same damage that it did at 50 or at 75 yards. It's still about half full.